Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing the Netflix tag. I was tagged by the lovely Aoife at Fred Weasley Died Laughing, which I love her channel, and thank you so much to her for tagging me. And the original creator of this tag was Whitney from ereadsbooks, so I will link both of those videos down below for you to check out, but let's get on with the tag. There's 12 questions for this and they're all related to Netflix but talking about books, so let me show you my answers to the questions. So excuse me looking at the questions on my phone. Question 1 is, recently watched the last book you finished reading? Well, as we are talking now, which is probably a week or two before this is uploaded, I have just finished reading The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters, which I have really enjoyed. I love Sarah Waters. I love Sarah Waters' writing. It's just captivating. I've read Fingersmith and Tipping the Velvet, and this is the third book that I've read by her, and although it's a gothic creepy ghost story, which is definitely out of my comfort zone and not something I would pick up to choose to read normally, it's brilliant and well worth the read. Question number 2 is top picks, a book or books that have been recommended to you based on books that you have previously read. I took to Goodreads for this to look on the recommendations, and it recommended to me The Kiss of Deception by Mary Pearson, which is a book that I'm really excited to read when I get my hands on it. I've been looking around and I haven't managed to find it for a decent price yet, so I have held off, but everyone raves about it, so I definitely want to pick it up at some point. Question number 3 is the last book that you bought. And for that answer, it would have to be The Quantum Thief by Hanu Rajanimi. This was the last book I bought. It's for part of my Galance event reads, and I'm really interested to get to this. It's a hard sci-fi novel, and yeah, out of my comfort zone, but one that I'm looking forward to giving a go. Question number 4 is popular on Netflix, books that everyone knows about, 2 that you've read and 2 that you haven't read or have no interest in reading. So for the 2 that I have read, I picked Soulless by Gail Carriger and To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. 2 books that I've read and enjoyed that are talked about a lot on BookTube. And for the 2 books that I haven't read, but in my case are books that I definitely do want to read, but I haven't read yet, I've picked Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas and Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. These are 2 books that are going like wildfire always on BookTube, and they're 2 books that I have yet to read. Question 5 is comedy, a funny book, and for that I don't actually own the book because I think I lent it to someone a long time ago and never got it back, but the book that I recommend you read as a funny book is Caitlin Moran's How to Be a Woman. It is the funniest book I have ever read in my life. No joke, the funniest book I've read in my life. It had me wetting myself the whole way through. I even was reading chunks to my husband in bed because it was hilarious and he was cracking up. Read it, it's a really good book. Question 6, dramas, a character who is a drama queen or king, and for this I have to go for Joffrey from the Song of Ice and Fire series, A Game of Thrones. He is a definite drama queen, especially in the first time we see him where he's having a sword fight with Arya and he runs off crying, I think. So yeah, you're a drama queen, Joffrey. The next is animated, a book with cartoons on the cover. For this I've picked a book that I haven't read yet, but I love the cover, and that is Confessions of a Hater by Caprice Crane. This is sort of a cartoony pop art cover and I really love it. Question number 8, watch it again, a book or book series that you want to reread. If you know me by now, you know I don't really reread, but if I was going to pick anything, I think it'd have to be the obligatory Harry Potter. It's worth a reread at some point, I think. Maybe if I get my TBR down next year, I might try it next year at Christmas and do sort of a reading of the series along with the films. But for now, this would probably be my choice of a reread if forced. Question 9. Documentaries, a non-fiction book you recommend everyone to read. For me, it's always going to be the same, and that is I Am Malala, the girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban, by Malala Yousafzai. This is an account of her time, her quest to fight for education. She was shot in the head at point blank range by the Taliban and lived and survived and has moved on full force to fight for education. Question number 10, action and adventure, an action-packed book. For that, I don't own the book because I had it from the library, but definitely The Great Zoo of China by Matthew Riley. Matthew Riley's books, without fail, are full of action and adventure. He is the type of guy that writes a character that will survive everything. Bombs, earthquakes, being shot, eaten by sharks, you name it, whoever his protagonist is in his book, they'll be able to get over it and will make it through to the end. But I love it. I love it. It's unrealistic qualities. If you pick up a Matt Riley, you know it's going to be a great action and adventure book. And The Great Zoo of China reminded me so much of Jurassic Park, and specifically Jurassic World, actually. So, but with different animals. Yeah. Definitely a must read if you want something action packed. Question number 11, new releases. A book that just came out or will be coming out soon that you can't wait to read. For this, I don't own it, but I can't wait to read Lazarus Volume 3. I loved the first two graphic novel bind-ups of this series. I've talked about it a lot on my channel. It's basically set in a dystopian world where there's sort of families that control certain areas, and each family has a Lazarus, which is a member of the family who's been sort of genetically modified and enhanced in order to be like the assassin and the protector for the family. It's a great series so far, and I can't wait to get my hands on Volume 3. And then finally is Max. Tag some people. For this, I'm going to tag 2 people this time. I'm going to tag Sarah Ella from channel of the same name because I've been watching and binge watching her recently and I absolutely adore her, so I want to see her answers to this tag. And also Stephanie from Time to Read, who I always love seeing do tags, and I think her choices of books will be very interesting for this. So yeah, that's the 2 people that I'm tagging for this. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing other people's answers to this tag. Let me know if you've done this tag already. Link it down below. I always love finding new people and watching tags. So yeah, link down below if you've done it and I'll go and watch it. Okay, well that's it from me. Bye for now, BookTube.